I'm Alex Cheparev, and welcome to Crashing Maya. Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of the Voodoo Ninja character modeling. So let's jump right into it. So this is where we left off last time. So right now, what I want to do is refine the legs more, and also the first thing sometimes as I'm modeling, I'd like to check to see if my model is symmetrical, and to see also if it's on the grid, and it is not on the grid. So I'm going to place it on the grid. I'm going to center the pivot and then hold X and just snap it to the grid. The other thing you can do to make sure it's totally symmetrical is, let's turn symmetry off, is to mirror it again. So I'm going to delete half. I'm going to make sure it's frozen. I'm going to reset my transformations. So modify freeze and then modify reset. And then let's do a mirror function. And we want to go in positive X. Like that. And let's just double check. Right, looks good. Let's clear history. Shift Alt D. Okay, so let's work on the legs a little. I'm going to turn symmetry back on. And I just want to refine the shape a little bit. It's nothing major. Okay. So yeah, let's do it from this side too. It's not super important, but it's always nice to have good geometry. So they look okay. Let's work on the butt just a little bit. I want to bring these in. The geometry is not the best for this, but it's okay. Alright, so I think this is okay. So one thing we can do is fix some of the edge looping. Now, when you're making armpits, sometimes you'll see points like this where they are close to the armpit and they have a 5-star vertex close by, and the problem is, if you want to do a lot of deformation to this, it can cause problems. So let's fix it. Go into just from this point, go on diagonal up here, because this is a flatter area, and it's okay to have this kind of point on a flat area. You're going to have them, so you have to put them somewhere. So moving it away from a point, from a part of the body that's going to deform, is your best bet. So once that's done, I'm going to delete these edges, and then I'm going to use insert edge loop tool to insert an edge here. Now you can also try using insert with edge flow, and that sometimes creates nicely deformed geo, tries to keep the curvature like that. Multi-cut tool again. Okay. So we basically moved this five-edged vertex higher and away from the bend, and now we have nice, smooth flowing quads. So it'll give us much better deformations. Okay, so now the other thing we can do is actually fix this area as well. So on the butt, we don't need like this is not good to have this point here with so many edges coming out of it. So it's a similar process that we use on the shoulder. So I'm going to go from here to here. Let's make sure this is the right side. Nope, we'll work on this side. Some of the tools are not symmetrical, so you have to we'll have to delete half and mirror. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this point to this side, away from here, and then we'll redraw these lines across. Like that. Okay, so now let's delete this half again, and we'll have to mirror, so turn off symmetry and select again. And because we keep deleting the same side, we can use the same mirror setting, so we don't have to open the options. We can just click mirror geometry and it should work. Yep. Okay, so the butt's starting to look better. Gonna hide our image planes so we can work on this. Let's turn symmetry back on. So we don't really have to spend a lot of time on this because we are going to be making pants. But it's always, it's good just to get it close to looking good. Okay. I guess that's what his butt might look like if he was real. Alright, so that's fine. Now I want to make the feet. So let's clear the history and bring back our image planes and work on the feet. So the feet have split toes. Let's make a shape that we think the feet would look like. So I'm going to use a circle, and then I'm going to give it some extra divisions, maybe 12. Turn off symmetry, and I'm going to shape what I would imagine this foot looking like, and this will strictly be used as a guide. So that's pretty good. It's going to be a little exaggerated. That's perfectly fine. Let's see. So from the side, we can see. I'm going to shrink the manipulator using plus and minus, and just scale it to the right size. That should be good. Let's place it here. Let's turn it out a little bit. Something like that. Okay, so that's good. Now, I'm going to make it out of a cube. And one thing you can do when you're making it is forget about making the sole flat and pretend like the foot is flipped to the other side. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to create this cube like this, move it here. There's my foot. And now I'm going to add a division like that. Let's hide this guy. And let's start positioning. Alright, that's good. And I'm gonna now do a poly smooth. And after you do the poly smooth, to make the sole, if you select the vertices below your shape, make sure keep spacing is off. I'm gonna hold V, select the Y arrow, and just snap it like that. And if we look below, we have a nice bevel all the way around. It's nice and flat, like that. Now let's continue shaping. And I'm pressing 1 and 3 to go between smooth preview and our original geo, and I'm just gonna position all of the points. That's pretty good. And then from the front, we can turn the wireframe back on. I'm sorry, the image plane back on, and then we can work with this. I'm going to select these vertices here, and let's take a look at what this looks like. So we're going to flatten these. You can do that. Just scale down. Scale it like that, and these two we can move down a little bit, and then move them also back, because we want to have a round shape here, or as round as possible. Scale these out. Alright, select faces here, then extrude up. I'm going to select the Y arrow. I'm going to hold B and just middle drag, and then move it up. This will make it nice and flat, and then delete those faces. Okay, so let's keep working on this. Okay. Okay, let's bring back the body, and let's see if we can attach this. So I'm gonna actually delete this right here, and I'm gonna delete this here as well. Select both, and if you're not sure if a bridge between these will work, we're gonna use a bridge. go into display, heads up display, turn on poly count. Excuse me. And then look at your edges here. I'm going to select this edge loop, and it tells me there's 8 selected. I'm going to select this edge loop, and it is also 8. So this will work perfectly. And let's combine, clear history, double click this one, double click that one, and then click the bridge. Now when the bridge first happens, sometimes it will be set differently. It won't match what you have. The lines could be twisted, so for that you can use bridge offset, and you just select it and drag, and then you pick which way looks best. I think this one is better. And then we can select this one. I'm going to use the slide edge tool, and that one you just go into, I think it's edit mesh, where's slide edge, mesh tools, slide edge tool. Once you select it, just middle drag anywhere, and then you can drag along your geometry like that. And we're also going to just rotate it like that. Okay, that's pretty good. What I do want to do actually is maybe exaggerate the foot a little more. So we can get rid of the circle we made. Like that. And now we're going to give him some split toes. It should work perfectly fine at this resolution. So let's do it. Now one thing we'll need is we'll have to add a loop here, or maybe split this one in two. That way we'll get a nice clean split down the middle here. So I'm going to use insert edge loop tool, set it, turn off edge flow, relative distance is fine. I'm going to put one like here, then another one there, and then we can delete this one like that. Okay, and then to make the split, what you want to do is first use the multi-cut tool, and so the split's going to happen right here up to this point. So from this point I'm going to go out on diagonal this way and then this way, and then we'll repeat the same on the other side. Okay, and now what we're going to do is use insert edge loop tool again, set it to equal distance, turn off autocomplete, double click this side, double click that side, and just select these guys and then select those as well. So now this lets us draw an opening like this. Hit enter to finish it. You can double click that. Now here's a little trick. Let's say I want to select all of the faces here. It's going to be hard to select all of them by hand, so we'll use a way to convert our selection to something we can so that way we don't have to select so many things. It's much faster if you know what you're doing, but right now it's going to take longer because I'm showing you guys. So I'm going to double click this edge. Now you can go straight to faces like this, but it's not going to select those faces around this vertex. So we're going to do a different step first. So hold Control, right click, to vertices, and then to faces, and that will now select the faces around that vertex as well. And hit delete, and then I'm going to double click the hole like this, and I'm going to deselect these edges here, and then I'm going to do a bridge. Whoops, why didn't it work? Oh, I know why it didn't work. That's because we have an extra loop here. Okay, so to fix that, we need to redirect this loop. So let's do that. So I'm gonna go from here because it's fine there because see we have a toe, but this one's going through this new toe that we just made, the toe split. So we have to go from here out this way, and then on this side as well, and then just loop it around. Oops, I'm using backspace to undo. Like that, and now we can delete this edge and this one. So now we shall we'll have the same number of edges. So one more time, double click this, deselect those edges, bridge. There we go. We have split toes. Delete history. So they're definitely too far apart from each other. Not a big deal. We'll fix that. Just moving them closer. Like that. So they will be going through each other. That's okay because once you subdivide, we're not going to leave the character at this resolution. So at some point we will subdivide using a smooth like that, and then everything will be nice and clean. But until then, we'll have to just stay with what we have. Now if you want to move the toe a little closer to the end there, we can just select those guys and move them like that. I'm going to select this. I'm just going to drag it down a little. Maybe make this a little larger. There. Okay, I got that. Okay. Now I'm more or less happy with this, at least for now. Bring this down just a little. Yep. Okay. Alright, so now what we can do, well, let's put the foot to the side and we can rough out the pants. This should be pretty quick. Select that. Mesh, mirror geometry. Okay. Alright, so to do the pants, all we have to do is duplicate the geometry here. We're going to hide the original body, move this back again, and we're going to look at our drawing and figure out where we're going to cut the pants. So we don't need this much. And then on the waist, we'll go from this view and use a cut faces tool and just match this line like that. Delete these faces. There's some right there. And then we can double click, delete. There we go. So we need to clean this up a little because we have some edges that are kind of going up into nothing. So we're just going to redraw some of these lines. So I'm going to go like that. I don't want to work on two sides, so I'm just going to delete one side. This will make it much easier. And I want to keep this, but I want to delete these lines that are going diagonal up. Like that. And not control delete, just regular delete. If we use control delete, we'll lose the curvature. So we want to keep it. There's a vertex there. Let's delete that. Okay, that one's okay. And to delete. I'm going to select this as well. And even maybe this one. There. Now let's start drawing them back. Like that. Okay, it's not letting us click there. Now it is. Like that. And then let's go from here to here to here. Oops. Delete this edge. Okay, so now we can delete all of these extra vertices that are left over, but make sure you unselect those two. Click delete. And then let's mirror there. Clear history. Okay, so now we need to kind of inflate them. And one way you can do it is using you can paint it, or you can also use the transform component tool. And the way that works is pretty simple. I'm going to select some geometry here. Let's select all of these faces here, but not selecting the end there. And then I can use transform component. It's also under edit mesh. Let's check what the options are. There's a random option. Make sure random set to 0. Click apply. And now we can basically inflate. Like that. Okay, let's check from the side. I want to delete half. That way we have a little freedom to and I'm using this to scale. This will scale in Y and Z at the same time. So to work on the other side, one thing we can do is actually just flip our put a -1 in X, and now we can move these vertices around. Okay, now we need to do the rest of this. And you can also use a lattice. I'll quickly show you how that works. So I'm going to select this edge loop, go to create lattice, then I can move that side, move this side, and then from this view, move that, like that, and then clear history. Now we just need to update this, and you can start by moving the points that are the easiest to fix. So if we move this one down, we'll take this one, move it here, that one, and then spread these out a little bit. Okay. And let's just keep working on this. So I'm going to pause the video to finish refining this, so that you don't just watch me moving vertices around, and then I'll be back in a second. Okay guys, so here is what I ended up with. Now there's still some things we want to do to this, and right now you can see these really long faces, and it's kind of making a triangle almost. Comes to a point there, so I want to fix that. So I want to use the multi-cut tool, and I'm just going to go through and connect to the other side. I'm going to then delete these faces, these edges here, and then use the cut tool again and connect that. So that's looking a little weird, but that's okay. We can fix that later. And alright, let's fix where it meets the leg, the calf. I'm going to insert a loop like that. I'm going to scale it, bring it down. Make sure this is looking right from every angle. Okay, let's get rid of half. And I just want to fix this a little bit. Okay, let's mirror again. Where is it? Okay, so it's a good start for the pants, and there's obviously more work, but we can finish that later. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for part 3, where we'll refine everything, and if you like, subscribe, and leave any comments below. Thanks.